what's really cool about this YouTube channel is that I'm not limiting myself to sharing only information on a certain topic, but I just believe whoever is living a similar life to me, working on their own project, doing some sort of business, and just trying to get better every day and learn and develop and grow and succeed and all these words related to those topics, that type of people will relate to everything I say, and because that's how I spend 100% of my time on, and that's what I think about in general. So that's why today specifically I want to talk about a really interesting thing which I think can help anyone, which is using AI tools to solve issues. I'm gonna put it that way. And so I mean, what I mean by that, I've been working. So first of all, by the way, first of all, I think if you think short term, you do and focus on such a different tasks compared to if you just think a bit more long term. Like if we compare, take um, trying to succeed in run ads, for example, for a product like Facebook ads and trying to succeed this week. What we're gonna do is we're gonna um, take ads that might work or create them fast, low quality probably, launch them and put a lot of budget, and then trying to see what works fast, and then trying to scale, sort of like this is in a week basically. So you have very little data, very little understanding what you're doing, very little experience, and very little time to analyze it. And so that's what you, if you focus it within a week and you're trying to make money like now urgently. But if you just spread it across like a month or a few months or even a year, what you're basically allowing yourself to do is you detach yourself from a result, from urgent like a result right now, because you don't care anymore. Like you're living a life, you're able to survive without these results. So then you focus everything what you have on making it better, because you have so much time. Like you're just like, whatever, I'm gonna do it however good I can. And you focus on your craft, you're focusing on making it better, you're focusing on quality, you're focusing on data, you're gathering data. So you're making way more structured and smart decisions across a longer period of time. And so you just succeed more, because that person in a week they might have some results, sure, but they have no idea what they've done, they have no idea what they're doing right now, and then they're gonna repeat it in a week, in a week, in a week, and they're gonna end up nowhere with like this little kind of results. If you just focus on a big goal further away, or big like shift, uh, and focus on current actions to bring you closer to that new identity, to that new personality, to that new knowledge, that new experience. If you just focus on that right now, that's what breeds the biggest results. Because then you're gonna be able to set up all the systems long term to help you long term, and that's gonna work for you forever. And then you're gonna basically find more ways to make sure that you can succeed and you will succeed, as opposed to just trying the fastest way possible. You're gonna find the best way as opposed to the fastest and easiest way, which I believe is incredible. That's what should everyone think about, and especially when if you're young, that's pretty hard to think about, because you think you don't have too much like life, like time spent on Earth, so you don't think short-term things exist, but they do. It's hard to focus on them, but they do exist. So they're first. And what I want to talk about today is I've spent a few hours of my day setting up some of the systems, agents, projects for myself in ChatGPT, just simply for all sorts of things. I started with two, which is like the main thing I have, which is life and business. And what I did for and what you can do as well Open the project in ChatGPT. There's a tab called Projects where you can send instructions and you can also send files. And basically, whenever you create a new chat in that project, it's going to take into account all the instructions and all the files you submitted, so you don't have to repeat them. And you can just feed it. You can just open new chats, and it's already going to know everything about that topic. And you don't need to, you don't need to um, just like give more context because it's gonna have a context already. So what I've done first, I actually spent on that quite a lot of time, but I just wrote long paragraph about myself, my life, what I've done, what I've lived, things I've focused on, and my values, my goals, my ideas, my priorities, my thoughts, my everything, what I'm kind of care about in general, what I thought about, what kind of made me myself in the past years. And it's like a long text. I don't know. It's like a bunch of like I don't know, like 100 sentences or so. But I was inspired. I actually enjoyed writing it, and you should try that too. And it's gonna tell you a lot of things about yourself. And I sent it to ChatGPT, and it gave me the whole like it kind of like put it in a better structure. And I also mentioned like please do not miss out on any details. Just like keep put everything there that you see. And it outlined basically the whole idea, the whole concept of me, who I am, and therefore I downloaded a PDF, sent it to the file, uploaded it in the file in the project, then upload another file about like my daily routine, what I do, and I think that what I'm gonna add as well, like more files, just more files with more information about my goals, my plans, my ideas, my whatever personality traits, my experience, and all of this. Um, at the start, I would not recommend it spend so much time. Just like write a few things about yourself, like the main things that you really think are necessary. I sent it there, uploaded the file, and now basically you have like a basically chat which is second you. Sure, it's not perfect. It doesn't know a lot of things, but it will learn, and you will add more with time, which is incredible. And what I would do personally is use this for a few different ways. In a few different ways. First, I personally plan my week every Sunday, and so I'm gonna tomorrow actually is a Sunday. I'm gonna send um just like a few things I want to do or I've done in the past week, and my goals, like short term, long term goals, and therefore the plans that I need to like the things that I need to get done in the following week. And I'm gonna give it instructions like, hey, not don't make the plans related to something I cannot control. Put everything that's under my control that I can do in the next week. And yeah, and that's already awesome. And that's something it's easy for me to plan. It's easy for me to keep myself accountable, and then I can easily break it down in like days. Like, hey, break it down in the daily in the plan of like the next day. What I should do next day, what should I focus on? And then like you can like ask it to do different time blocks. Maybe you want to do something in the morning, something in the evening. You have like a call here. You want to be. You can mention like you want to be as efficient as you can. What can you do during the call? What can you whatever do during lunch? Do during this time? How long does my this take, etc. So it's gonna give you a pretty rational, like a pretty like rational, sensible kind of structure of the day, whatever based on whatever you want to achieve. And and then you just move, and then you just move with it. And if you also ask a question like if you think it's too much work or too little work, and you can do more. And the best thing, even if you have more time left, you can focus on something else, something extra. You can always learn something more. That the work is never done, right? And if you think it's too much, I mean, just let it know that it's too much. You maybe by the end of the day, if you like, the great structure going to be like you outline a plan for the week, then for the first day, and then by the end of the day, it's like, hey, I've done this. What's the plan for tomorrow if I've done this so far? And according to my weekly plans, and it's gonna give you great structure. Like it's so much mental work off your shoulders, which is so helpful, just extremely, extremely helpful. Um, that first. Besides that, whenever you have any like questions about which decisions you should make and which sorts of whatever yeah, things you should focus on, new things you should try, push or pivot, whatever this kind of, especially with pushing and pivoting, it's such a hard, often really hard decision to make. Sure, it's not gonna be perfect for you. You're gonna learn from it, but you gotta make some sort of decision. So I think this kind of chat with like all the context about you can help you make this kind of decisions so much with like pushing or pivoting or any other kind of decisions, and kind of like remove your doubts and talk to you and even like talk to you in a proper way, like, hey, I'm doubting that, or like I'm not sure about that, or like I'm so confused, I don't even know what to do right now, like how I spend my day, like I have this problem with the, like I'm always exhausted at night, blah blah blah. Any of those issues, you can resolve them with that because it knows you, it knows your context, it has such an aligned goals with you, and especially if you give it, especially if you have like another separate file which you upload in the chat where you explain perfectly who is this, like who is like you 2.0, perfect you, which identity it has, which traits it has, how does the person make decisions, etc. Basically, chat is gonna respond to you from the perspective of that person who is like a perfect ideal version of you, which is awesome. Same you can do for your business. Upload everything. I mean, for me, it's personally like tailored to e-commerce, of course. But you can do it with any business. You can upload all the documents about your customers, about your systems, about your I don't know, maybe even like a PDF of your website, whatever else you want to upload. Everything that you can upload, information, like experience, data, etc. And then just with all that, and the more the better. To be honest, like it's sure, keep it structured, keep it not messy. Like don't upload random shit. But the more the better. The more context. I mean, the more you have, the more context the ChatGPT is gonna have. The more things it's gonna be looking for. Uh, Next time you ask a question, and it's gonna be looking for an answer. More of the documents. And same thing, you can like. I personally am gonna be using it so far, just to learn more about the ads and the campaigns I launch, because I run a lot of ads, right? I launch like up to, what is it, like, I don't know, maybe like 30 ads a week, and like videos, which doesn't seem too much, but it takes a lot of work, and they're all different, they're all completely different. And so that needs to be analyzed, right? That needs to be properly analyzed. And I often have no idea like why a certain ad didn't perform and why it did. So one of them would be like for learning ads, like me sending ChatGPT like the results of the campaign, the campaign itself, the different variations of the video or the image, and therefore it giving me like the feedback, hey, this might work, this might not work for your company or your brand. And that's already something empowering as well, something super powerful. You can use that further for, and then you can actually feed the same chat, the same project of a business with these new learnings which you gathered from this research that ChatGPT done on your campaign or whatever you've done. Uh, and then there's so many more things that, for example, like if that's my current state with the business, I've achieved that. I have this so far. That's my goal. What's the biggest needle movers? I think this is a huge biggest needle movers. It's always something that you need to be asking yourself, because like we do so many things which are not necessary, but if we just focus on one or two things which move the needle the most, that's where how results are created, and that's why you can ask ChatGPT, because you often don't realize what you really need to do. um, yeah, so the conclusion of today is use chat more, be more creative with it, and yeah, just get rid of all the heavy lifting, uh, because of that's such a great tool. It can help simplify your life so much. Thank you for watching, and see you next video.